be with us here. So I want to welcome to Atlanta Live, Genesis Hay.
Thank you so much, John. It's such an honor to be here tonight.
Glad to have you here tonight. So what brings you here to Atlanta Live?
Well, my wonderful friend Stevie, that I met at a seminar engagement in Los Angeles, had asked me to participate in this with him. And what I realized was that we had a similar vision for helping young adults succeed. And so many of the things that I do and that I've created for young adults is surrounded on career development and helping them to really create a direction, a passion for purpose, and provide them growth, development, and hope that they've been lacking in their life. And so what I did actually was create a book, and it's called A Work in Progress. And so much of what this book incorporates is how to find that passion for purpose in your life and create that strategic plan for your life. So I help people to actually go through a step-by-step basis to create an action plan. So I felt like that there's so many books out there that say, you know, you can do it, be strong, be powerful. It has all these motivational quotes, but it doesn't provide you a step-by-step basis on how to get there. So I thought that that was a great calling on my heart to be able to bring that to so many in need. And what I saw when working in Chicagoland, I worked in the Chicago Public Schools, as well as I did a lot of tutoring in Cabrini Green. And
which is one of the most difficult areas to work in.
Yes. Very, very difficult. So many of the kids were just needy and had a very difficult time finding out any type of purpose and any type of direction for their life because they had nothing to live for. They had no support at home. They had no one appreciate them. They had no one telling them that they were loved and cared for. And I felt in so many of those situations that I was a surrogate mother and that I was able to be that for them. And I thought that, you know, it's so important for children to realize at a young age that they're loved. And I wanted to be able to provide that as much as I possibly could. So with the things that I have in here, although it's a little bit older than the Cabrini Green students that I was teaching, I create a step-by-step basis for kids to work towards a direction and help them to realize who they truly are as people. So it's so much about finding who your personal self is, your own personal mission, your own personal values, your own personal vision for your life. I help them to go through and determine that, because if you're following all these other kids out there that are involved in gangs and don't have any other direction and are having a hard time with their own direction, how are they going to possibly succeed in their life? So I think that there's such a significance in being able to determine who you are as a person and being able to follow the direction and passion for purpose and having God as a basis and able to have that and having him help you, guide you every step of the way. That's truly the key. So I feel truly honored to be where I'm at. I feel honored to have had the experiences that I've had working and seeing those children in need, because it inspired my heart to create a change and to create something significant for these young adults. And I never want to stop. This is my life mission and my life purpose, is to help other people achieve their dreams and make their dreams a reality.
That was going to be the question I was going to ask you next. What was your inspiration? We all have various experiences in life, and some of us are able to draw from those experiences this inner inspiration that gives us drive, and it really sparks or fuels our ambition. So talk a little bit about that experience for you, how these the culmination of these things really sparked an ambition in you to kind of go after this thing full force.
Sure. Well, working in the Chicago Public School system, I was working on all ends of the spectrum. I was working with special ed kids in concentration room, as well as gifted children.
Wow.
So it was all across the board. Wow. Exactly. And it had so much influence on me because you could see so so many different spirits and where they're coming from in so many different areas, because a lot of the very gifted children were trying to be something so great, and they always wanted the approval, and they always wanted to be better, and they always wanted to be good enough. And the special ed kids were just trying to fit in. So many of them, they were having difficulty, being accepted by the rest of the students. And what I found is that there's so many ways that students can be themselves and be happy and be fulfilled, and with being themselves, they have a gift, because God gives all of us gifts. And if they can utilize those gifts and be able to apply those to a career that they're going into, their possibilities are unimaginable.
Wow.
I mean, just unbelievable.
Wow.
So I just think that if I can help them find that, they can find that purpose and correlate it with a career, instead of just going for what you think that you should go for, going what your parents tell you to go for, going what everybody else is doing. This is the right thing to do. Go with what your heart and God is telling you to do. Because that's where you're going to find your greatest fulfillment.
That's good. So in your book, you talk a little bit about not only giving them information, but giving them step-by-step instruction on how they can possess or pursue what you're instructing them about. How did you find, how has that component made your book, your literary piece, how has it made it so different from many other things?
Sure. I actually use personal experiences that I've gone through. Each chapter that I have 11 chapters. Each chapter goes through a significant teaching point that I had in my life.
Wow.
And I applied that lesson that I learned into that chapter.
That's good. Life principles.
Exactly.
Wow.
And so it makes it very significant for me to be able to know that I went through those failures. I went through those painful situations. I was hurt. I was devastated at that point. But to be able to put that in a piece of work where it can affect other people in such a positive way, I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Wow. So all that you're doing, also I see here that you were in the Beverly Hills Times. Now this is huge. and the article reads 10 tips for young adults to create a successful future. Tell us a little bit about this whole piece.
Oh, well, it was such an incredible thing, really. I had met the editor, and I was talking to her about my passion and motivation for helping young adults, and she said, I love your passion, I love your purpose, and I want to be able to incorporate you into my next magazine. And so I was asked to do that, and I basically just took a little bit of my bio and took 10 tips. And a lot of those teachings and those tips that I applied into that article are actually in this book. So it's kind of like a little segment that I took from the book. So it gives you a little sneak peek to what the whole picture was for the book.
Gotcha. So let me say this. I want you to encourage some educators out there, because I really feel strongly that, and being an educator, divinely called of God, is what we're lacking in today's society. If you had to encourage men and women who have the passion that you have towards educating people, what would you tell them to do? Because, with budget cuts and things of that nature, and the lack of facilities, the lack of resources, we have people just like you who have a desire to do this, but they're lacking the push. What would you say to them today that would cause them to remain, to continue in that pursuit for educating others?
Sure. And I think that so many of them don't understand the great dynamic effect that it has on children. What they do, what they teach, what they say, everything makes such a difference, especially when you're young. Children they have the greatest memories about things, and when they have a bad situation with a teacher, that's something that they'll never forget. So I would say for teachers to just be as encouraging as they possibly can. Never give up hope, because no matter what situation that child has gone through, whatever circumstances they come from, everything can be changed. They just need to know that they're loved. They need to know that they're cared about. And if they understand that, if they feel that, I've seen countless situations for me personally and from the school system that I've been involved in where people